Here is some solid life advice from the one and only Megyn Kelly.
A pro tip for her, smile. Try smiling every once in a while. Try not to be like in your delivery, such a cold-hearted all the time, because it gives people nothing to bond to.
Yeah, trust me, women love to be told to smile. As, of course, there's a lot of controversy surrounding Megyn Kelly right now, and the notorious Nick Fuentes, as the establishment neocon right, is definitely going all out, as some people are saying they went a little bit too far, especially when it comes to Seth Dillon and the Babylon Bee, making an Israeli explosive pager joke against Megyn Kelly, which could land in multiple different ways, especially when you start to really think about it when it comes to the lore of this crazy spy story of sabotage and destruction that a lot of people love, a lot of people hate. We're going to discuss the nuance of it, since there's a lot of different issues to get into, as there's also a radicalization of the establishment neocon right that I think deserves to be talked about, that is becoming more and more unhinged and dangerous and should be addressed. All of this, as of course some people are saying, Megyn Kelly is a hypocrite because she called out someone who previously had a comment made about them and a pager. What was that surrounding? We're going to get into that. Is it hypocritical? Is it not? We're going to answer a lot of those questions all here on this independent media broadcast. And if you appreciate these type of conversations, subscribe, click the notification button. We greatly appreciate all the time that you spend with us here on our independent media YouTube channel. Now, let's just get into it. The Babylon Bee released this article and tweet and then deleted it. You can still see it on the archive, and other people, of course, saved it and screenshotted it. Now, why did they delete it? We're going to tell you why in a little bit, but the tweet says, Megyn Kelly gets rid of old pager just to be safe. And Megyn Kelly responded with, what the F? Seth Dillon? Seth Dillon does represent this kind of like establishment neocon, Ben Shapiro right that was at odds with Charlie and is definitely at odds with this kind of new young right, represented by Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, Nick Fuentes, and a lot of other people that are saying, look, we could discuss whatever we want to discuss. Let's stop trying to have a purity test and police how big the Overton window could be. Let's just discuss bad ideas with good ideas. As Drew Hernandez responded to this by saying, is this a death threat? Quote, praying for Megyn Kelly. And this is, and again, some people are saying, it's a little bit of a hyperbolic statement. The temperature in the room's pretty high after what happened to Charlie. Now, what happened to Charlie? The left, for a long time, was dehumanizing and radicalizing their people by saying, these are Nazis, these are right-wingers, these are horrible people. And then lunatics acted on it. Now again, I think there was a lot more lunatics than just one when it came to Charlie personally. But clearly, that was the MO, right? Clearly, there have been multiple attacks, multiple shootings, multiple stabbings, multiple just horrendous attacks against this alleged super right wing. And now the right is calling a section of the right the same thing, and they're playing the same playbook, especially when there's crazed people on SSRIs, insane people that violently attack people who claim that there are Nazis. There's literally people walking around at protests being like, kill Germans from the 1930s. And then they're like, all of these guys are Germans from the 1930s. And now the slimy establishment neocon right comes up. Them too, guys. Them too. Get these guys right here. Megyn Kelly, Tucker Carlson. Who else? Who else dares speak out against us? Oh, yeah. Brett Cooper. That one. Get him. And it's like, hey, are we supposed to stand together? Tim Pool responded to this by saying, I assume they deleted it because it's most offensive to Israel than to Megyn Kelly. Now, I don't think Babylon Bee would ever, I kind of lightly disagree with Tim Pool. I don't think Babylon Bee would be ever offensive to Israel. Now, listen, Babylon Bee has done some incredible work before. I'm not here just to kind of tarnish them, but it's pretty clear where they stand on a lot of these issues. And they stand on the Israeli issue. They're pro-Israel, obviously. And a lot of people who are anti-Israel and being criticized, or even open to those conversations, right? They're the ones that are now seen as the kind of butt of the joke attacked by them in satirical ways. And again, sometimes when they talk about, the left, I think they do really funny stuff, and I enjoyed their stuff previously beforehand. But it's pretty clear that they're taking a big major side, and they have taken a big major side, as there are major allegations against the Babylon Bee founder, pushing and trying to get Charlie Kirk to be more pro-Israel than he already was, and trying to get Tucker Carlson out and not speaking at TPUSA events, which to me is just, bonkers. Of course, there was a Hampton meeting that everyone talks about. As Tim Pool says, the joke implies Israel assassinates Americans for criticizing them. Some people say, well, they just did that and they made a mistake. I don't know. I think it was pretty clear what they were trying to say, and I think it's in the same ethos of what happened to Mehdi Hassan. And I'll tell you why in a little bit here. Now, when it comes to this pager attack, we have to remember this was what people are calling one of the most cold-blooded, insane intelligence agency operations ever, as this was a multi-year operation of Israeli companies infiltrating pager companies, providing pagers, communications to Hezbollah leaders. Some people are saying this was successful. Other people are saying there was a lot of innocent bystanders. There's particular stories of children picking up these pagers and then them exploding in their hands, as of course Hezbollah was using it. Now, of course, a lot of Hezbollah guys were affected here. Now, this mainly kind of maimed a lot of people. It took some lives, but it predominantly created a lot of people with blown up hands, right? And a lot of people are talking about the kind of ethical use of this. A lot of people are debating whether this is a good approach or bad approach. For me, this is very cold-blooded, because, if you could avoid innocent bystanders from being hurt here, I think you should. And when you just throw hundreds and thousands of explosive pagers out there, of course, will be scenarios and situations where innocent people and bystanders do get hurt, and there are a number of those incidences. And listen, the other side will make an argument saying we had to get these guys, and the only way to really get these guys, the only way to really affect them, the only way to really find these guys is by doing these type of sabotage attacks here. And we needed to do this in order to get the people that we would have never gotten in conventional war. So again, the debate is out there. For me personally, I more lean into, you should do everything in your power to try to avoid innocent bystanders. And I don't think this did that. That's my own 2 cents on this personal matter. Some people will say I'm wrong, and I understand those arguments as well. Now, again, I disagree with Tim. Candace responded to Tim saying, I've been telling people for about 2 years now that Seth Dillon is a psycho behind the scenes, and that the Babylon Bee is not engaged in telling jokes. And yes, Seth pressed Charlie in the Hamptons about his shifting views on Israel. Now, this matters here because, obviously they're trying to make a joke. And obviously I think people should try to make whatever jokes, even if they're offensive. But when the temperature in the room is as high as it is, when people are getting death threats and people are getting doxxed and people are getting attacked, maybe this is not the time to do some assassination humor. Maybe this is not the time to try to... this doesn't lighten the mood like most jokes or offensive jokes sometimes do. Sometimes they land, sometimes they don't. This didn't land. I'm willing to give comedians more leeway, but with Seth Dillon taking such an aggressive stance, with the likes of Mark Levin, with the likes of Ben Shapiro, with the likes of other kind of establishment neocon, right, which are making this their number one priority, I do see this in just personally bad taste here. As Mark Levin, and again, we told you, listen, a lot of attacks, especially on Tucker, especially on a lot of individuals. Nick Fuentes had someone show up to his house with the trying to take his life. Cops engaged in a fight with that person. That person lost their existence on Nick's block after trying to take Nick's existence, right? That temperature in the room is very high. This is not the time to start to just say, hey, yeah, get him, leftists. They're not really saying that, but they're pretty much saying that. You know what I mean? As Mark Levin was criticizing Megyn Kelly. And again, it's all about putting pressure and attacking a lot of these individuals. Now, I'm going to be playing a clip from Tim Pool here and getting into the kind of nuances. Josh Hammer also has made some comments about neutralizing a lot of these figures. Just really quickly before getting into all that, we wanted to shortly remind you, sign up to lookunfiltered.com. We greatly appreciate all of your support, all of your donations, and it means the world to us to have your support. 20 cents a day, $8 a month. That's it. It's cheap. It's super quick, but if enough people do it, we could do some awesome, incredible, magical things for you. And we're going to be doing a lot more really fun things on the ground. So if you want to support that, if you want to help us build that up, you can. If you appreciate 20 years of work, 21 years of work that I've been doing for you guys, lookunfiltered.com. And predominantly, a lot of the work I have done hasn't been advertised, hasn't been marketed, hasn't had any big corporations or countries or foreign influence, nothing. It's all you, right? We work for you, and I would rather work for you than work for a foreign country. And a lot of these people are selling out working for foreign countries. I like working for you. I appreciate working for you. I want to continue working for you. Let's do that. Let's make some really cool things happen. LukeUnfiltered.com. And you get a plethora of really cool things when you do sign up. So it's all listed here, LukeUnfiltered.com. Now, okay, let's get back to this conversation with Mark Levin here, who really isn't happy about Megyn Kelly platforming Tucker Carlson and fact-checking Ben Shapiro. How dare you? Fact-check Ben Shapiro. As, of course, Megyn Kelly had something interesting to say. Mark Levin.
They are both under serious threats. Like, to be honest, I am too. Like, this is a very volatile time. I don't like to talk about it. I'm not going to talk about it. But I'm just saying, I know.
Yeah, a lot of people on the right, all their security details. And I kind of agree with this. They're like, yeah, don't talk about this. Because if you do, it spurs on more crazy people to do this because they're seeing that they're having an effect on you. Same with like stalkers. You know, a lot of these crazed SSRIs, like people who like harass you, dox you, show up at your house. You don't ever want to kind of talk about them because when you do, more of them just show up. It's like, oh, look, I'm having an effect here. I'm actually bothering them. Look, yeah, oh yeah, I could be talked about. I could have some relevancy. So there's a lot of things. I'll just leave it at this. There's a lot of things behind the scenes that affected me, that's affecting my friends, that we're just not talking about. Why? For security reasons. And what Megyn Kelly's describing here is real. And again, them making jokes about Israel taking you out with a pager. That's a legitimate concern. That's a legitimate issue, right? I can't say that it's not. There's also crazed leftist, right? There's also, a lot of foul play and weirdos and crazy situations unfolding and pressure campaigns and cancellation campaigns. People are making calls like, how dare you platform this person? You better not platform them. You better fire them now. It's like, whoa, bro, I like this person.
Both of them are under serious threat. So just fucking put a lid on it, fucking Mark Levin, because I guarantee you, the wrong people listen to that, and we could have another powder keg on our hands, and you don't want that. You don't want that on your conscience. Just have a debate like a man on principle. And
yeah, Mark Levin released and leaked text messages he got from Tucker Carlson, where Tucker Carlson was like, "Hey man, let's just talk this out on stage at TPUSA. This is what this is what Charlie wanted. This is what Charlie did." And then Mark Levin was like, "How dare you? You're disgusting filth." Very dehumanizing language.
Why don't you show up at the Turning Point event and debate him? Just debate him. That would be so good for this conservative movement you claim to love so much. You know who's at the Turning Point events? Future conservatives and current conservatives. Young people. Young people. This would be a chance for you to influence somebody under the age of 70. You should show up there and debate. Why wouldn't you debate? He's so disgusting you can't debate him. I can see not debating Nick Fuentes, to be honest. I can. But Tucker? He's so far outside the mainstream. All the Jewish friends I have in my head who text me all the time, like this is my thought. They would all debate Tucker. They would love to debate Tucker. They've got their facts ready to go all day. Why won't he do it? And why is he sounding like a leftist shill with his rhetoric, just trying to dismiss people as like these horrible, bigoted people who you can't even stand next to them on a stage? This is not good for America First or the conservative movement, and it's manna from heaven for progressives.
Yeah, the left is like celebrating. It's like, look, the right is tearing each other apart. Again, Josh Hammer literally called for Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes to be neutralized, which is pretty wild, to say the least here. Now, Nick had some interesting Tim had some interesting comments to say about this that I wanted to play in this particular video as well.
Look at the aftermath of the assassination of Charlie Kirk, and you have the right fractured. Trump's off message, pissing off Gen Z. Charlie Kirk was rallying young people. And now, again, with all due respect, it really does feel like even with Turning Point's growth, there is a fracturing from TPUSA and whatever this other element of the right is, and even the moderate, disaffected liberal types who had aligned with the right. I don't even know what's going on anymore.
As of course, maybe a lot of this is deliberately done. Now again, James Lindsay came out and said, this is a joke about Israel. No, it seems like it's a joke about people criticizing, not falling in line, and being kind of winked and nodded and suggesting that that's how I interpret it. And again, everyone's has their own interpretation. As James writes, Seth almost definitely didn't write the joke. A lot of people like to, point blame on him. I don't know who did write the joke. Maybe we'll get clarifications. People are saying it's not a call for anything, especially since it's satirizing Israel. Again, Babylon Bee is not known for satirizing Israel. They're known for satirizing their kind of political enemies, the left, and making fun of them. And I think they're doing that with Megyn Kelly. And then some people are saying that this is outright. And again, Glenn Greenwald said, last night, the Babylon Bee, which should just rename itself the Tel Aviv Bee, threatened Megyn Kelly that she would be taken out by Israel for refusing to deplatform all Israel critics. Now, they didn't really say that, but a lot of people are saying they're insinuating that. And again, it's based on your interpretation. I think Glenn took it a little bit to the extreme here. And then he responds, all Israel as Israel loyalists often do, they use the pager image to pretend it was all just a joke here. Now, this is not the first time that the pager thing brought up. Now, listen, I personally am a fan of Megyn Kelly. She came out and talked about, and again, I disagree with some of the things she said, obviously. But she came out and talked about, when it comes to the certain procedures on Fox News, they made sure we couldn't talk about that, which highlights the kind of hypocrisy there. Now, Mihad Hassan, who was on CNN, came out before and says that Megyn Kelly laughed at him freaking out when someone made a pager joke about him. Now, personally, I watched that CNN segment. I thought this pager joke was a little distasteful. And again, this was, correct me if I'm wrong, this was before the whole Charlie thing. The whole Charlie, the taking out of Charlie changed the temperature in the room completely, where it's not really fun to joke about clandestine assassinations. Political figures being sabotaged and taken out. So the temperature in the room definitely changed. I'm not here just trying to play defense. I thought the joke against Mahdi Hassan wasn't that fun, but again, we should give a little bit leeway when it comes to jokes. And I'm willing to give all the people trying to make jokes some leeway here. But I think it's fair to also say, hey, we should turn the temperature down in the room. And again, some people are saying hypocrisy, who knows? And again, people are sharing videos. Now, so far, Megyn Kelly just responded with WTF. A lot of other people are responding. But again, she just says WTF, right? That's her only response here. So is it fair to say she's hypocritical? I don't know. But again, yes, we need jokes. Yes, we need to relax, take it easy. But joking about not the right time. And again, you should be giving full-on liberty. And this is what's kind of going through my head. It's like, okay, We should be able to joke about everything. But when you're that on the nose about clandestinely taking someone out because of their like beliefs, as that same right faction is playing from the same playbook as the left has throughout the last few years that led to this kind of radicalization problem, that's the issue. And I think it is a legitimate issue, and I think it deserves to be talked about. And if you agree, share this video. Thank you so much for supporting us on lukeunfiltered.com. Get in the group chat right now. I love talking to you guys. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys signing up to lukeunfiltered.com, and this is why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more. All here exclusively on youtube.com/wearechanged.